Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I am Yoshi and I'm going to be talking about a new topic that I haven't really been doing, and that's dreams. So, this is going to be my first video on my dreams and my dream travels and my experience, and also what I'm getting out of it. Now, this dream that I'm going to talk about is something that happened a month and 3 weeks ago. So it happened quite a while, and I pondered upon the implications and the meaning of this dream for quite a bit. Okay, because the dream is okay. So you're gonna find out about it. So I'm gonna spare you the details, the vague details of calling it all sorts of things. So to give you some perspective, I am a dream traveler, and I've been to many places and have learned all kinds of things from different spiritual masters, witches, shamans, mystics, wizard, and stuff that we don't even have names for in this reality. Okay, I've been through the lot of all these spiritual masters when I was going through very difficult times in my childhood. I had a lot of zombies and monsters and all this other stuff happening going on in my dreams and my dream realities. And so one day I decided, enough's enough. This is bullshit. Like, I am so fucking tired of being afraid of going to sleep, not knowing if I'm going to encounter zombies or whatever monster or kinds of stuff happening, vampires and really ridiculous shit. It got to a point where my sleep was suffering and I didn't want to put up with it anymore. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. I'm not going to live life like this. I choose not to. There has to be some sort of way, some sort of technique that's available in order for me to do this. And my creative self just happened to go, you know what? I'm going to learn magic. Yeah, that's literally what happened. I'm going to learn magic. Okay. And I was really into this one anime called Slayers. And so I fixated and really brought Lena Inverse into my dreams. So she was my first teacher. And I was learning how to throw fireballs, with Lena and Amelia and all these other characters from Slayers. And we were going out and doing things and helping the world, blowing up other enemies, blowing up kingdoms, armies, zombies. Of course, zombies, because they come back every so often. Now, that's just to give you the gist and the scope of what happened. I've done all kinds of travels before and after that point. And there was a point in my life where I realized, not realized, where I sort of gave up on it because it's just in my dreams. And even though I had come to a point in high school where I validated my dream experience because I dream so much and travel so much that my dream experience is like at least 4 times more than my life experience. That is how much stuff I do in my dreams. When I go to sleep, I go to like 7 different places sometimes. 7 different worlds, different realities, different events, and I would remember all of them. So you can imagine how much experience I had as a young kid going through all this stuff, all these nightmares, and all the nightmares I've had. So putting that into perspective, you can see why I wanted to change things. There's no point going to sleep if I'm going to go through 9 worlds that are suffering from zombie apocalypses and I don't know what to do about it and I don't have any tools to deal with it. That was a place for helplessness and not having any powerlessness. That's what I wanted to change. So there was a period of my life where I didn't really dream much. Okay, this lasted for many years. And occasionally, here and there, I would be summoned to do something major in a particular location, but that happened very seldom. And as I rediscovered spirituality or discovered spirituality and became more spiritual, and then I understood what dreams were, I had theories about it. in college and after college about how dreams are a transdimensional experience and all this other stuff, but it seemed so out there, all this other stuff like the interface theory of the mind and the consciousness. Now I understand those things on a much deeper level. I understand how interface theory works in a spiritual construct, in the spiritual reality, how it actually works, not the concept of the interface. Okay. And then in 2018, last year, I went to a psychic fair, and there was this man that I spoke to. He was a medium and he can see spirits and talk to other stuff, and he sees all kinds of interesting things, very fascinating otherworldly things. And he saw that the energy around me was very different from the majority of the people in that room. And that was one of the reasons why he came up and talked to me. I didn't know who he was. He didn't know who I was. I didn't even know his name. Okay. And within the first minute, he was already blowing my mind, because the conversation starter that he chose was like, "Oh, you're a traveler, aren't you?" That's how it started. It's like, "Oh, how are you? This blah, blah, blah." It's like, "You're a traveler, aren't you?" I'm like, "What?" And then instinctively, like immediately, I thought dream traveler, traveling through my dreams to other dimensions and other realities and all this other crazy, like Doctor Strange stuff. And then in retrospect, I was like, wait, why did I automatically think dreams? It's because he was psychically linked. He was telepathically letting me know what he was going to talk about. But, any other person would have been like, oh yeah, that person was Japanese. So it's like, no, I'm not like a traveler, but I do want to go to Japan, that kind of stuff. Or yeah, I travel here and there between here and California and other places where I go to conventions. No, I just thought dreams. That's the very first impression I got instinctively and psychically. Dreams, dream traveling. But yet I asked him, because I was still doubting my intuition, still doubting my telepathic abilities. And so I asked him the context of travel, like, what do you mean by travel? And he just flat out said, you're a dream traveler. Like, you travel in your dreams. I can see it. The energy, you travel to different places. And I was just like, what? Like, other people can see this kind of stuff? Holy crap, it's real. Like, at that moment, it was just like this huge eureka moment, this huge validation. Like, oh my god, I'm not crazy. I'm not imagining these things. I don't have really crazy epic dreams because I'm just weird, that kind of stuff. Because I talked about dreams a lot growing up and with my friends, and they have such mundane dreams, such really ridiculously regular dreams. And I'm like, why even bother sleeping? It's just like you're having another life, and it's not even a good one. For example, they talk about failing the test. Oh my God, I had a really bad dream about failing this test. And I'm like, I don't even worry about tests. Why would you have a dream about that? I'm just the type that takes tests and I ace it. That's just me. Like, I don't study. I don't do any of that stuff. I'm just like, oh, cool. This is it. This is the answer. I don't study. I might review, but that's the extent of it. It refreshes my memory of all the information, but that's the extent of my quote unquote study for a test. Review is the extent that I go to. And I'm just like, this is what you're dreaming about? You dreamt that you came to school naked? Like, some of them are really bizarre and strange, but it's still within the realms of normal reality, what you can do in the normal world. My dreams were not like that. I was in other worlds, other realities, doing all kinds of crazy shit and all kinds of crazy things. And a lot of it was just by accident, because I didn't have any teachers at the time. When I started learning magic from Lena Inverse, things started becoming more interesting, more awesome. Like, ooh, I can fly here, I can fly there, I can fly away from zombies, I can use a fireball for that. I have an abundance of spells I can choose from. I can use a wind spell, I can use a fire spell, I can. Wait a second, the forest is on fire. I didn't learn any water spells. That's one of the downsides of learning from one source. In this dream, in this particular time in my life, there was a zombie apocalypse, and so we blew them up, but then the forest was on fire. And my ally was injured and didn't know any water spells. And I was like, well, what the fuck am I gonna do? What the fuck are we gonna do? The forest is on fire and we're the ones who started it, so how do we put it out? I didn't learn any water spells. And they're like, I don't know any water spells either. I was just like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, wait, I know an ice spell that can create a gigantic mist and freeze everything. I mean, that's the next best thing, right? Whatever to stop the fire. So that's what I did. Okay. I cast it. If you're a Slayers fan, you'll know this spell called Demona Crystal. It creates a huge explosion of ice and mist, and that's what I did. So the whole forest was saved because I froze it. And it's okay because it'll unfreeze, right? And then after that, I woke up. So that's another thing that is very different about my dreams and other people's dreams. After I do my mission and perform a particular function and mission's accomplished, I wake up. It's just like that. I'm in medias res. That's a technical term for a movie or a film that starts in the middle of things, in the midst of things. Something's already happening when the film starts. So that's how my dreams are. It's like a movie, but I'm in it. So it's really crazy. It's really fucking crazy sometimes. Okay, it's just in medias res. I'm thrown into the middle of a crisis, and I instinctively, or in that moment, I know the context of the situation. I know what the plan is. I know what to do, or I figure out what to do. That's like part of why I'm such a good critical thinker or problem solver, is because I do this freaking so thousands of times already in different dreams to figure out different situations of all sorts of kinds. Okay, all sorts of shapes and sizes and circumstances. So that's like my dream resume. Okay, I've done a lot of stuff. I've met Kirby, I've met Pikachu, I've met all kinds of stuff. Okay, I've even learned from Kirby. I've learned magic from Kirby. Okay, so very interesting stuff. Now that you have like a backdrop of like who I am and what I've done, now I can talk about the dream. So this dream was freaking intense, and it deals with the topic of choosing to be special. Okay, choosing to be special, choosing to be able to do magic, choosing to be able to manifest things, to use your will in magical ways. Okay, the person I was teaching, because now I'm a master, I've been a master for the past 15 or so years or more. I didn't realize that I could translate this stuff into the physical reality. I thought this was just all nonsense, right? Because I didn't believe in spiritual stuff. But now when I reconnected in that moment, I was like, holy shit. Then I started downloading all of this stuff and started my spiritual regrowth, my next growth, my next evolution in spirituality. So even though I'm very new to this, I'm also a lot more advanced than the majority of spiritual people on this planet, because I have knowledge and practices from other realities and other planets. So I'm teaching this boy about choosing to be special, because his mindset was that he was ordinary, that he was normal. And I'm like, no, you are choosing, you're using your free will to be normal. Okay. And dreams have a sort of synchronicity to it too. So I'm also learning from my own dream, reminding myself in this reality that I had chosen to be normal, to have a normal life, right? Because I chose to believe in physical reality over my dream reality, but really they're both equally valid. So I was reminding myself, telling myself that I chose to be normal, but I'm so much more than that. Everybody is extraordinary, but everyone has chosen to be normal, to fit a normal life. And that's really what society is about, right? Fitting in and all this nonsense about being normal. But in doing so, you're losing your soul expression and your authenticity and your uniqueness and all this amazing stuff that is available to you by embracing that normalcy. Okay. I stopped having these amazing dreams and amazing experiences because I embraced normalcy. I spiritually axed my dream life. Okay, the action that I did get, I axed. Okay, and that was from my own choice. So, this whole spiritual aspect of choosing to be amazing, choosing that you aren't ordinary, that you're extraordinary, that you're godly, you're holy, all this stuff. There's a process to it, but first you open that door. I choose to be godly, I choose to be this and that, or I want to get there. That's a choice. So that's the first part of the dream. And then I was teaching him how to do magic, and I was there with my friends, and they were showing him stuff, and things were going great. But there was something in the back of my mind that was very strange. Like, we were there on a time limit, and there was a certain point where we were supposed to leave. But in the midst of having so much fun and teaching him how to do magic and doing more advanced magic, I lost track of the time. And then I was like, oh shit, we need to go right now. And in the dream, I knew exactly what it was, but I didn't really know after I woke up. It was weird. I'm like, how did I know that? That's weird. And the reason why we were supposed to go is because there was a zombie apocalypse that was scheduled at that time. Go figure. If all the fucking things in the entire universe in my dream reality, zombies are the things that I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of anything else in my entire dreams. Okay, and in reality, it's heights. But in the dream world, it's zombies. I'm afraid of zombies for some fucking reason. And of course, the apocalypse that came was fucking zombies. Okay, so there was a zombie apocalypse, and there was this gigantic ass portal that opened up. It's just like the size of. It's a huge ass portal, okay? It's like half the size of Los Angeles. If you know how big Los Angeles is, it's fucking gigantic, okay? So like half the size of that city. I don't know, like 25 miles wide. 15 miles, I don't know. 10 mile wide portal. Even just a mile is a fucking huge portal. Think about Endgame, Avengers. The biggest portal they had was probably like 300 feet. This portal was miles wide, and there was nothing but zombies coming out of it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Well, in the dream, I wasn't like that. I was much more composed, and I'm just like, gotta get out of here now. Okay, so we flew back to the car, or at least attempted to get back to the car, but the zombies moved very quickly. And so the car was in the midst of a crowd of zombies, and the zombies were coming toward us. So we started blowing them up, and I'm just like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, I'm blowing up like 5 to 10 zombies at a time with each blast, and I don't even know what kind of magic I was using. It's not a magic that I've used before, but it's like a light energy or something. It's like a ball of energy, and when it makes contact with something, it just makes this huge explosion. Okay, so it's like an energy blast, I guess you could say. So I made energy blasts, but I'm like, this is ridiculous. The scale of this apocalypse is ginormous. It's, how are we supposed to contain something this gigantic or get away from it? Because we could get away from it, but then what about the rest of the city, right? It's like, should we just leave and just damn everybody else? I guess the point of leaving early was to position ourselves so that we can better contain the apocalypse, but that didn't happen as planned. So we were caught off guard. And so we weren't in an ideal location or all this other stuff. And then there was this one particular zombie who was a female, and she was very fast and very intelligent, and she was able to dodge my projectiles. So it's just like boom, 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 and she was dodging it. I was like, holy fuck. And then next thing I know, she's right in front of me. She takes both of my wrists and she bites into them. And the moment she bit into my first wrist, I was like, holy fuck! I just got bitten by a zombie. And it really hurt, by the way. It really hurt. She had jagged, sharp teeth. Okay, jagged, inch-long, sharp teeth that bit into my skin. Okay, and then she bit into my other wrist. She bit both of my wrists. What the fuck? Okay. And then I was just like in this crisis state. I was like panicking. I was like, holy fuck, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna turn into a zombie. I'm gonna do this. And then holy fuck, I'm going all this magic that I can do. What the fuck is a zombie? What the hell do you even become? If you're a master sage or wizard or whatever, what do you become when you're a zombie? You're not a necromancer. You're not a lich, because you're not using death magic. You're just a zombie that knows how to do magic. I'm just like thinking of these horrendous consequences, blowing up the city and all this other stuff as a zombie. And then I would get a grip, and then I would freak out again. And then I shook her off of me and she left. That's it. And then, also before she bit me, right before she grabbed me, she said, I am the missing link. Okay, she said, I am the missing link. Of all the fucking things she could say, what the fuck does that mean? So I was left pondering this question for the last 7 weeks. What the hell did that mean? I am the missing link. Okay, she's a zombie. She bit my wrist. What are all of these symbolic of? Because the dream's not literal. In a sense it is, but the themes of it transcend the literal events that actually happened. That she's female, that she's a zombie, that she's dead. It's like yin, yin over yin over yin. Okay, all these yin themes, the darkness, the death, the shadow, all of these aspects are represented in that one female zombie who bit me. And then she bit me in the wrist. So what is it in the wrist? Okay, so these are some of the things that were, more or less easier to figure out, but how did it apply to me? Like, what shadow? What darkness? And there was one thing that I didn't consider at the time, and that was fear. I didn't really understand or know what fear was, but yet I was experiencing it. Fear was the core of that link, because fear blocks the root chakra. So if you understand fear and you embrace it or something, you work with the energy rather than against it to block yourself, you can become something so much greater. Because what happened after that was when I got a grip, fully got a grip of myself and stopped thinking about all the terrible things that could happen, I was like, no, I'm going to reel myself in. I'm a master sage, but I don't know what I was in that time. I don't even know what the hell to call myself. I'm a master. I can do all of this crazy stuff. I'm choosing not to become a zombie. How do I do that? That's really what happened. Because in the midst of all this zombie chaos and my friends shooting magic and blowing zombies up, I was having a crisis moment. Okay, I was having a crisis in the middle of a war zone, and I was not wanting to become a zombie. I could sense the energy flowing through my energy system corrupting me, and I didn't know what corruption was. What the fuck does it even mean to be corrupted? Is it corrupting me at all? What the hell is it? And when I chose to stop fighting it and embrace it, I realized it was a different kind of energy. And I didn't become a zombie. And rather than becoming a zombie, I became so much more. I don't know what happened, but I integrated with the energy. There was a eureka moment that I don't remember in that dream, where I chose to utilize the energy to infuse myself. You can think about it like Alice from Resident Evil. She had the T virus and she turned into a superhuman. So what happened was when I embraced this energy and became one with it, I became super mass. I don't see. This is so weird to describe. I'm just experiencing it and doing this stuff in my dream, but on a conscious level. So I'm like, how do I do this? Oh, also, I noticed that in a lot of people's dreams, they don't think. And in psychology, it's the popular notion is that you're not able to think in your dreams. That's why they think it's just random and there's no meaning to it, or there's subconscious meaning to it because you're not driving it. But in my dreams, oh hells yeah, I am conscious. I'm thinking every single moment. I'm experiencing things. Even when I'm not in the dream, when it's a cinematic dream and I'm watching it, I'm still thinking stuff. I'm like, damn, that's fucking crazy, or that's really cool, or man, I wish I could do that. I'm still thinking, even if I'm not in the dream. So I don't understand what this whole other stuff with this psychology and dreams is. But going back to the dream, I became so much more. I became a super master. Okay. I became a super master. So rather than blowing up 5 to 10 zombies at a time, I blew up like 100 zombies in one blast. It's just like boom. The blast became 10 times bigger. And I was like, holy fuck. And that scale of magic has not been available to me in any of my dreams since that moment. Wait, I reversed it. That scale of magic has not been available to me prior to that moment. In all my dream history and all the magic I've ever done in all of my dreams, that was the craziest, the biggest I have ever done and ever gone. It's like Captain Marvel level magic, Scarlet Witch cosmic magic level. I'm throwing out all these references, hoping that you understand one of them. Okay, this is like God level magic, and it's so weird. I'll just throw out Harry Potter. Dumbledore. This is beyond Dumbledore's level. This is beyond Archwizard level. And I didn't understand that when I woke up. I was like, why? Why only at that time when that zombie bit me did I have access to my full arsenal of magic? Very strange and very weird. And we were able to contain that zombie apocalypse. And once the things were contained and my allies were able to handle the rest of it, I woke up. That's what I do. Crisis resolved. Mission's done. All right. Time to come back to this reality and just be in awe of what the hell I did, because I was so confused. I was like, did I become a zombie? No. There were so many questions swirling in my mind. And so it's something I've thought frequently about in the last 7 weeks. What is fear? What is death? What the fuck is a zombie? What does that represent spiritually? What is a zombie spiritually? It's the parts of myself that I've rejected, the dead parts of myself, the shadow, the parts that weren't watered, all of these aspects. Now I understand these things on a much greater level because I've done a lot of chakra work and I've connected with my soul. So my expansion and awareness and depth has all evolved again. And I've learned so many things and I've been more mind blown. And I know it's weird. It's like, how can you know so much and have experienced so much and still be so mind blown? Well, I was, and I still am frequently mind blown by all the stuff I discover and all the stuff I'm experiencing and the process of bringing this into this reality. Because I have come to realize that magic, spirituality, godliness, magic, all that stuff that you see in comics and stuff, that is the future. All of the stuff that we've seen, we're taking about it we're thinking about it in the context of the past, that the past was somehow more superior, that they were more connected, that they understood esoteric knowledge and ether to a higher degree than we do. And so they were able to use magic. And you see that this is a very common theme in current stuff that we see, is that in the future, magic dies because people stop believing in it. But it's actually the opposite. We have more understanding, more connection to ether, more so now than we ever have before. So magic is actually the future. Think about what we're doing with science, what science is understanding about reality, that 99.999999% is ether. And if we can just tap into 1 cubic centimeter of this ether, just 0.00001%, just a fraction of a cubic centimeter of ether, will have enough energy to power our entire civilization for millions of years. That's incredible. So my message to you is that there's so much more to explore. There's so much more to understand. Magic, all of this stuff, reality, it's fluid. Okay? This is all possible, but it's not going to be possible until we evolve to a spiritual level high enough to understand and to really be responsible enough to utilize this magic for the greater benefit. Okay? Imagine how many people out there that could use magic in a way that will cause more harm and more suffering and more oppression, right? But we're moving toward that. So somebody's going to be the trailblazer. Who's going to be the trailblazer? Well, apparently I'm one of them. I'm trailblazing the path to magic, the path to true awakening, the path to true connection. Yeah, I know, it's a big responsibility, it's a big task, but I've done it for so many other realities. Why can't I do it for this one? You know, it's all choice, right? So I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. And, let me know about your experiences with zombies and dreams. What was your solution? Do you still suffer from nightmares? Because nightmares are not something that you have to suffer. It is a choice. You can choose to do something about it, just as I chose to incorporate magic and other stuff so that I can navigate my dreams more peacefully. So you best believe that when I'm attacked by Dark Lord or something like Dormammu, their ass is going to get handed to them. Okay? Seriously. It's happened. Okay? Not a joke. Yeah. I've done those kinds of things before. Doctor Strange, that's all real. You may not be able to see it or comprehend it, but there are people out there, spiritual entities, that are protecting our dimension, our world. And it's not just spiritual entities, it's also aliens and all these other stuff. All right, I'll see you guys around in the next video. Namaskara. Please support my channel and my videos, and I'll be making more dream videos in the future. Subscribe to my channel to support me, and also share this with other people, especially people that have very interesting dreams, because they'll probably not have had dreams like mine and will probably want to talk to somebody who has dream traveling, people who go out and experience other dimensions and other realities, and so have very unique dreams. And I love talking to those people. I've met many people in my life in the past that have had very interesting dreams, and I've wondered for so long, why do we have such interesting dreams, and why only so few? All right, everything's coming together. Namaskara. I'll see you guys around in the next video. Have a great day and see ya.